This is one of my favorite guys, and he is going to get a burst fade today. We took him really short last time, and he's going to keep all the top, right, Josh?
Yeah.
Okay, so hard burst fade. We're going to clean the face all the way up, and front is natural, right?
Yeah.
All right, man, well, let's go.
All right, I'm gonna direct that hair first and foremost, and then I'm gonna pull out my Cocoa clippers. I put my number 2 on there, and the lever's all the way open, and this is just to get my initial debulking done. It makes it much easier when I put my guidelines in if I've done some debulking. So I'm going just a little over the temple height, and then I'm gonna do the same thing in the back and get that shape of that mohawk started. I got my Cocoa trimmers, and now it's time to make my bald guideline. And since I'm going for that burst fade look, I'm really gonna do an oval around the ear. I like to go a little higher around the ear with the bald and the fade because I think it looks a lot nicer and more dramatic. So once I make my line, I flip the clippers upside down, I flip the trimmers upside down, and clean all of that out of there. All right, my S9 shavers are the best. They're super gentle on the skin and they get nice and bald. So I'm gonna clean up that bald area. Some people may do this afterwards. My preference is to do it beforehand. All right, so now I have my Cocoa clippers all the way open, which is the equivalent of a 1. So we're making our 1 guideline right now. And I'm basically following the shape of that bald guideline that I set. I'm gonna leave a little bit hanging over in that front area because I want some darkness there so my lineup can really show up. And I'll do the same thing when I get to the back of the mohawk. But like I mentioned, I'd like to go a little bit higher over the ear so you can see when I get to the ear, that thickness is gonna be a little more thicker than that front and that back part of the guideline. Right now, I might be just being a little more tedious than necessary, but that's just me. So I've closed my lever more and more, and I'm working that 0 guideline out to have some graduation. And I'm getting all the way to the close level and getting that bottom line out. All right, so now I have my number 1 guard all the way open, and I'm gonna start fading that area right above the number 1 guideline. And don't worry about that 0 line down there. We're gonna go over that with the trimmer at the end of the cut to really make it disappear. So I'm flicking outward. I'm coming up a little and then coming outward because I know I have a couple of more guards to go. All right. We did that 2 on the side right there, but I'm also seeing that I'm getting into more bulk. Gradually doing the same thing in the back area. Don't forget, the cut does not have to look good throughout the damn haircut. It's all about the final result. So don't get too stressed about it not looking the way you want it to look throughout the cut. Don't even be scared to let your client see it in the mirror while you're working. All right, so I'm closing that lever more and more now, the same way I did the 0 guideline. And you'll start seeing that graduation more and more. All right, my number 4 now I'm gonna go higher into that mohawk now. I want it to lean more. Now that I see what I'm working with, and I know that I need that that more dramatic lean up top, I'm coming in with that number 4 all the way open, and I am literally knocking that bolt down in that upper area of his hair now. All right, we're going back down to that number 2 now. I got the guard all the way open. So now I'm making that 2 meet with that 4. All the way open, kind of getting some of those detail areas that don't want to just naturally fall in place. You can use these guards, but you have to use your eyes at the same time. You have to use your eyes. You have to make sure that you are looking at what's happening. All right, so now I'm at my 1.5. Now I'm really bringing them all together now. So I'm starting with it all the way open, paying attention to how it's texturizing. As you can see, my stroke is getting more and more gentle. I want you guys to trying to give you a close-up of the actual strokes, because I know that's where a lot of people struggle. This time I'm not coming off as much. I'm not flicking off as much. Now I'm really looking to make the 2 meet. All right, we're back to the 1. All the way open. Now it's coming into that 1.5. Getting those details. Right now, I want to make that area over the ear more dramatic, as I mentioned to you. So you'll see me start to close this up and really make that area a lot lighter than the rest of the fade. All right, the half guard. This is where the magic really happens now. This is right between that one guard and no guard. So you're blending those 2 in now. And I'll start off with it open, again, just to see how the results are gonna be first. And then I'll start gradually closing it. Sometimes I may have to open it a little bit to get a hair or 2. All right, so it's closed now, and I'm getting some of those stubborn areas that don't want to work out. You gotta be patient and persistent with this. All right, so I even opened it back up because I seen a little area that didn't need that close action just yet. All right, so now the guard is off. We're all the way open, and we're getting those stubborn ones out of there. Right, now you can see that blend happening. Look at that. And you have to cross cut sometime and go in angles. You know, hairs, they don't always fall off in one direction. So I'm real big on cross cutting at a diagonal angle, and then I'll kind of cross it back the opposite angle sometimes. So now I'm doing that detail work. Trying to get higher around that ear. It just makes the burst look so much nicer. So I'm close them up a little bit. Focus on that bottom area a little more. All right, you can see that blend is looking real good. So let's go ahead and start this lineup. I want to see a little bit of C cup right here, so gonna get them a little angle and start curving them down. Got to be able to use the corner of that liner, man. It makes a big difference. And remember, these are straight blades, so you're not gonna be able to just place this on somebody's head and get that curve without working those corners. And then I'll come from the bottom and do the same thing the opposite way. Now, he doesn't want a full lineup on this one, okay? All right, so now it's time to take those trimmers and knock that bottom line out. He wants a dramatic V shape back here per the picture he gave me. So we're gonna kind of cut up into that mohawk and give him what he asked for. So this is the wrap up, you all, and I hope this was very helpful. I really appreciate you guys tuning in to my Barber Life channel. Please let me know your thoughts, like, subscribe, share, help me grow this. Let me know what else I can provide that'll be of value to you guys, all right? This is Lonnie Horne, and I'm out.
Take a look.